Well, welcome to the port of Sheerness. Sheerness docks are one of our biggest employers on the island, and it's got within its boundaries a lot of smaller companies working and paying rent to the port owners. Now, one of the problems we're facing at the moment, not only here but throughout the country, is the government's decision to retrospectively levy rates on companies who work within the environs of ports and harbours who haven't previously paid rates because their rates have been included in their rents. Now, this government has backdated that to 2005, and some of the employers and companies that are working in the docks here are faced with bills running into millions of pounds. I mean, I think the highest is £3.5 million. Now, no matter how big a company you've got, if you're giving a bill for that side of money, it's going to impact on your finances, and ultimately impacting on finances means that people are going to lose their jobs. And we're already seeing redundancies here at Sheerness, and so what I'm doing is working with my Conservative parliamentary colleagues to try and get the government to overturn those retrospective rates increases. And I don't hold my breath, but I'm very hopeful that we will try our best to ensure that we have a good outturn for the employers in this particular docks. Over there you'll see Sheerness Steel. It's now called Thames Steel. When many years ago the dockyard in Sheerness closed, it's created an awful lot of unemployment in the town, and the Borough Council was encouraged to approve the planning application to build a steelworks here in the middle of Sheerness. Now, if they did that today, there is no way that you'd ever get permission for such an heavy industrial unit in a residential area. But times change. It's there now, and we have to do what we can to ensure that it prospers, because it's one of our largest employers again on the Sheppey, and they again are suffering from the recession. They produce steel, which most of it is exported, and if people aren't buying steel, then obviously people are going to lose their jobs, and people are sadly losing their job. And we just hope that we can ride out this recession locally, so that places like Sheerness Steels and the docks actually survive. We've looked today at the way in which the recession is harming our local communities. We've been along and we've seen the docks, and I've explained that we're finding people losing their jobs there. We've had a look at the steelworks and explained that people are losing their jobs there. We've had a quick visit to Sheerness High Street, and you've seen the shops that are closing here. Now we're in Sittingbourne High Street, and we're seeing a similar situation. As Alan, as one of the local councillors, how do you feel that the downturn in the economy is affecting your town?
Well, I'm extremely worried by it. It's so sad to see so many of our local businesses closing down. I think one thing that the government has got to look at, and very seriously, is the business rates. Why can't they suspend them for a while, give businesses a chance to keep afloat? Because all the time businesses are closing, people are losing jobs, more people that lose jobs, more people go on benefits, and it's a vicious circle.
Yeah. And of course it's not just rates, there's VAT, and we as Conservatives propose that there be VAT be suspended for small businesses, and that would actually help the cash flow of a lot more businesses. Mike, what do you think in terms of how the economy and how can we solve the problem?
I think it's a crying shame that the town's been allowed to get in this state. I agree with everything Alan said about the business rate and things that the government could do to help. But more importantly, I think the big chance that Sittingbourne's got is with this new local plan. The redevelopment plan that's going through at the moment. I think if we can get that right, if we can get it right for our children, there's a future for the town here, and we can bring business back into the town and re-enliven this wonderful high street.
And I think that's the key. I think Mike's hit the nail right on the head. Yeah, we've got this regeneration plan for Sittingbourne in the pipeline. We're going to go and have a look at where it's going to take place shortly, and you'll maybe see the vast scale of it. But the most important thing about that regeneration plan is that it has to be linked with the old high street so that we can regenerate the old high street as well. No point in having a brand new shopping centre across the way if we're then going to lose what we've got remaining of our high street. That's very important. Now, if this looks like a building site, it's because it's going to be a building site. I mean, over in the distance you can see the diggers are in there at the moment, and behind the diggers you'll see the back end of Sittingbourne railway station. And what we're going to see behind here, hopefully, in my lifetime, is a new brand spanking retail park. Now, so Alan, could you tell me what you want to see here in this development?
Well, obviously, apart from major shops, which will attract people into the area and spend money in Sittingbourne opposed to going to Chatham or Canterbury, I would like to see things like a multiplex cinema, a bowls alley, something where young people can be entertained, keeping them off the streets, and the whole thing to be an area where people want to come and enjoy their shopping and leisure time. But also, with the link going over the railway, to tie it in with the town centre, with little shops over the bridge as well. And this will help regenerate the town centre at the same time, because there's going to be an anchor shop on either side of the railway. So the existing town centre will not be forgotten, and with the new square that's going to be built, hopefully it will do a lot to help the shops that already exist there.
Thank you. I mean, that's one of the things that I'm really keen to see, is that the link between the two elements, the new retail element and the old retail element, actually isn't just a link, it's actually a working link. So I want to see that as a major street with shops either side so that it sucks people in to the old part of the town. But of course there are other aspects of the development that are equally important. Right, Mike, come and join me. As one of their more younger
kind of you.
Activists, you know, from a family man's point of view, what else do you want to see in this development?
We need to get some good access into the development. We need some decent shops, of course. We need the decent shops, but we need some residential stuff in there too. What we really need is some decent car parking and some decent road access in. Where the area behind us will act as around the hub, which will become the railway station and the square around that. What we need to be able to do is get cars in, get people in who are shopping, allow them to come to the town easily on good roads from the Northern Relief Road and elsewhere, bring them into the town, bring them into the area, with an underground car park here, a multi-storey car park just the other side of the railway line, increased car parking, good and cheap car parking, free if we can afford it, and get people into the town, let them spend their money here, and then let them drive on their way easily afterwards. That way we can cure the congestion we've seen earlier in other parts of the town.
Okay. And the parking side of it is very important. You'll find increasingly that the planners, when they're pressing these developers, are trying to force people out of their cars in the shops in town centres. And all it's doing, and all it will continue to do, is kill our town centres. You know, because people want to drive their cars, and we're never going to change that. People that have cars want to drive, and when they're happy to go to Bluewater and Lakeside and all these other places because they get free parking. We've got to somehow provide free parking here in the middle of Sittingbourne so that people don't have to go there, they come here, and we'll regenerate this area, and that's what we're endeavouring to try and do.